Starting broadcast. There we go. All right. So we want to start with the higher time frames. The high time frame gives us the general direction of the market. We want to go ahead and get that first taken care of. So we do know that the market has given us a couple things here. Well, one is giving us a nice kangaroo tail is a good indicator on a reversal on the trend. And the market kind of has a hard time sustaining itself up here. So we know that the market is trying to reverse. If we look on the daily, we see one of my favorites is a stairway effect. This is basically a sideways support and demand. Right? I briefly went over that on our previous seminar. We're going to fully get into that on this seminar. Now most of the time people think that a support and demand is simply like so, right? You got your support up top and your demand on the bottom. Now this is basically the same thing, just sideways. It's called a stairway. Some people also refer to it as an Elliott wave, but stairway is a great indicator on whether it's basically forming higher, lower highs with lower lows, and then you also have upward stairways. This is a nice bearish stairway. Now we're going to look a little closer onto the 4-hour. Now the 4-hour tells us a couple of things. That when it hits that support, at some point it's going to hit the demand before it tries to hit the support again, right? Right, hit that support and then hit that demand. And then again, it did that little consolidation back up to the support. So now we know that because it formed that lower low here, formed another lower low off the previous lower low. I'm sorry, lower high. And then now it wants to form a lower low. So we see here that it already made that bullish move back up to the support. And now it quickly hit that support and it bounced right back up. So what we want to see is we kind of want to give the market a chance to move, right? We want to give the market a chance to move. We want to see if it wants to come back up and kiss that support before it comes falling back down again. That's what we want to establish. So all in all, we know that the market is going to sell for UCAT. We know that because it hit that support more than once, that support is established. It's establishing a resistance, that it's going down with the market. The market is making that bearish move. So, and then you want to give the market a little bit of a chance to move, make that sell, and then you kind of want to see it break here, because the problem here is this. You draw the center of consolidation right in the middle, the center of movement, like so. When you're in this movement here, right, you kind of want to stay away. You don't want to really do anything, because if you buy or sell, you could find yourself in a little small problem. That even though it is still dropping, it's still a consolidation. So you might see red a little bit longer than you wanted. So when you're up here, we're up here. We already recently hit support off of on Friday. So going into Monday, you kind of want to see it create a high of the week and then fall for the rest. Fall for the rest of the week. Probably gonna break this low, and we want to see it break this low again. But want to see them let the market make its move, jump in, jump in for that sell, because we do know the ultimate move on UCAD is bearish. And let's see on a small time frame. Then on a small time frame, this is where we get into those small time frame indicators, those head and shoulders, right? Consolidation, consolidation. and then your break. Right, that's your head and shoulders. So here we know that the market's going to make a move very, very, very soon. It's going to make a break soon, just like it did over here, an inverted head and shoulders, right? Shoulder, shoulder, head, came back up. Shoulder, head, shoulder, down. So we're going to give the market a chance to make a statement, and we're going to catch it off the fake. We're going to make sure this thing is going to come up a little bit, and then we're going to catch it on the down. It's easy, super easy.
What that is.
All right, so let's go look at something else. EG. I know EG has been popular last week. Higher time frame. You're going to figure out exactly what it's trying to do. So when we look in the higher time frame, now we can see this already. We can see that it's obeying the same thing. It's a very similar movement as UCAD's doing, right? Very clear. It's been very strong after it hit that demand because it still wants to touch that support. It has to touch that support before it comes back to demand. It needs to hit. You kind of want to be in this area and wait for it to make a move. And you don't necessarily want to jump in right when it hits that line. It's technically still not a precision entry yet. You want to see if it's going to break it a little bit because sometimes it'll make that false move to break it a little bit, and then it will fall. And then it will fall. See, it broke up a little bit here and then came up. But to get a nice safe entry, you kind of want to be in that blue box. Let the market make that touch on the support line and then look for the demand again, right? Look for that demand. And ultimately, we would want to see EJ end up in this department here. Because if we noticed previous history, it's consolidated in this area over a long period of time. So it looks like EJ wants to come back down to that same time frame and make that similar consolidation. Now this is just basic stuff. This is not getting to the advanced stuff. But this is the general direction in which the market wants to go. This is what we're going to establish in this seminar, is why and how the market does what it does. See how it made this really big push-up? That's a really big push-up. That's like an NFP candle. And watching the market slowly retrace back down. Right? During NFP, a lot of those pairs will make that NFP move during the news and then come back down at least 80% retrace for the most part. Not all of them, but most of them. And it's already trying to do that. It needs to find time. It needs to hold value before it goes all the way back down again. So it looks like we're going to be coming right back to where consolidation was in the previous time frame. Right, so general direction, perfect entry will be in this blue box, solely because it is obeying that support and demand. Right, it's hit it that second time, so this creates that resistance, forming those lower highs with lower lows. Anybody have any questions so far? Come up to go down to smaller time frame.
I do want to ask.
Yep.
So you know when it hits the double top, that's how I know that's gonna go in one direction. Is that supply and demand?
Yep. So double top is a good indicator for this. So that's falling into the market maker method. That's when the market is, you hit that support area more than once. You hit that double top, that triple top, and what happens is it just traps sellers. So sellers are planning on the market to fall, but they'll get in an entry, and then the market will come right back up again, hit that support again, make people go crazy. They'll see that red for a longer period of time, make them get uncomfortable. Then they'll see them end up pulling out their trades, pulling out negative, and then it'll make that triple top again for the people who are getting in again. That's what the market's trying to do. It's trying to eat up your money up here because ultimately it can't it can't go above that support unless it's not an established support. Some people will. You need to make sure you know that you're drawing up the right support. In this case, we are. So we want to make sure it's the right one because the market can't go higher than that. But that's why it's going to trap our sellers, and sellers will think it's a buy, and then so on and so forth. That's the dealer. The dealer is just trying to trick the sellers. So that's why we always want to make sure that we have a somewhat of a comfortable entry and use our proper risk management. Just because the market can make some weird do some weird stuff sometimes. So it's already looking like it's already in consolidation on the lower time frame. It's already looking like it already wants to make that fall. Right? It's going to consolidate. It's probably going to push up a little bit and then fall. Because now we are at that support. Now the market needs to hit demand again. Look on the top small time of the day. It looks like it's curving. And we should be using our smaller entries for smaller time frames for entries, but ultimately relying on the 4-hour and the daily to catch that. See, it hasn't quite, it's in that support area. It's going to come up a little bit more. We want it to come up a little bit more. But be ready, that's all. And you know, when you mark up your charts, you ultimately just want to find out the general direction of where the market is going, and then give the market a chance to move. Because the last thing you want to do is trap yourself into negatives for a little bit and find yourself seeing red for a few days before you start seeing that blue. Because we ultimately know, and we're expecting it to come back down, but we need to give the market a little bit of room because it could come up all the way. Could still make that move all the way to here, right? It could still hit that support line and then come back down. And that support line is, depending on what kind of risk you're using or what kind of lots you're using, still 130 pips away. So you could technically be expecting a push-up, a small push-up, but the real move is going to be down. It needs to hit that support, or it's going to come very close to it. And just because ultimately on the small time frame it's not telling us that it's going to curve and come back down. It's not necessarily. It's just quiet time. Market's just going to consolidate, and then it's going to make a move during London. EG moves primarily during London. And the reason why I know that is because if I come back to here, my New York session and my Asia session. So it moves from London through New York, right? Right, London. Oop. Right, London into New York. So this is more of a London into New York pair. So we're not going to see this thing start to move until London. But it's been too strong of a push to sell right away. We kind of want to see it consolidate and make maybe one last leg up to the support line, which you could start having pending sells at 80 pips up. Maybe you can push up a buy, but you ultimately kind of want to enter when it hits the support line. And if not, it can make that push up to the support line. If you don't want to get in it yet, there's 30-odd other pairs to look at too. UCAD can still make that push up and then look for the sell. And still make that push up to the support line and then drop again and create that lower low. But it might not because it already touched that support. It already touched it. Now it just wants to chase that demand. Let's look at another pair. Look at GU. Everyone's been trading GU lately. It's at a somewhat of a low for a while. Right, we're gonna start with that higher time frame. We know here that it's on that demand, right? This is so crucial, very important, because it's not necessarily an all-time high. Now it's an all-time low, and it hasn't broken it yet. Well, it completed, but it hasn't broken the lowest it's ever gone before. But it is in the demand zone. This is demand right here. It's actually, to be real with you, this would be actually demand. This is that demand. And we want to see this push up. We want to see it push back into consolidation. This is your area of consolidation. That swing right in the middle there. It's a little bit bigger because we're on a higher time frame. But that's where we'd be looking for it to come back up to at the very least, which is back up to the 1.52 area, right? Because it hit that support, now it seems to come right back up to the consolidation, just like it kind of did here as well, right? This was one big swing in consolidation. It came down to that low, did this consolidation, which we might see here, just like it did here, right? This is probably what we're going to see here for quite a while. So now that we see it coming back down to that support again, we do kind of want to see it come back up into this area again. Right? It hasn't established any resistance lines yet. Nothing has hit the mark twice. Technically, right here would be your resistance. So it could come back down, come back up, come back down, come back up, come back down, come back up, and then make that break again back into this consolidation area, just like it did over here, right? And then make that breakout, and that's what we want to see. So it's ultimately not anything yet, but that's what we need to find out on the smaller time frame. So on this daily, looks like I hit this resistance line that we were just talking about, made that push up, created its first leg, right? Created its first leg. Now it's back into that consolidation on the higher daily time frame. So it looks like it can come back down, hit right here, push back up to here, at the very least. And whether or not it breaks, we'd have to wait until it gets to that point. Let's see. And it did make that break towards it, didn't quite complete it. Looks like it's going to form an M on the daily and then shoot up. Looks like on the daily it established this area of resistance here. So it hit it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. It might come back down again and hit it. And this is all on the daily too, which means on a small time frame it hit it multiple times. So this is a little bit clearer too. This is awesome for us. So we want to see it complete this right here. Kind of want to see it complete. Come back down and shoot up. So 2 things are going to happen here. So there's 2 things. Well, one, this could come back down and test here. I don't see it breaking whatsoever, just because it already established its resistance. Remember, resistance is not established until it hit a certain area more than twice. Once it hits that time twice, that's an established resistance, right? The one, should be your area of resistance right here. This would be area of resistance. Hasn't created a line for us yet, other than right here. So hit it more than once. But ultimately, we could see this happen. Ultimately, we could see this coming back up to here, because remember, once it hits that support or demand, the market wants to complete. It really wants to hit that support or hit that demand and then hit support before it hits back to the demand or the support again. What I mean by that is that because it hit here, it'll probably do some, like it went straight up to the support, but it doesn't always do that. Sometimes it'll hit that support, come down, and then it'll do a little weird move, maybe do a fake out to come back up and then drop again. Right? Same thing here. So it looks like it wants to come back down, fake out, and then shoot back up to hit that support again. Right? And then fall back to the demand. Because we're looking at something on a 4 hour, this is really a teeny tiny weekly consolidation.
Because the way you recover affects the way you play.
So ultimately, we are looking for the market to push up right after we kind of figure out if it wants to come back up again or if it's going to fall that back down to this line of resistance, this area of support. Sorry, demand. Okay, let's go to the hourly. Let's see what we find here. Oop, I hate when I do that. Oh. Yeah, it looks like the market wants to come back down to here and then come back up. Looks like it wants to hit that. It wants to fake out and come back, make a claim at the demand area, and then shoot up to the support line, support zone. So let's expect GU to make that small move down. Give the market a chance. Give it that chance at least to come back to right here and then shoot up. Kind of like what it did here. Similar to right here. Right, hit that at that little resistance area, came down, hit it again, made that fake move, and then shot up. Looks like it'll probably do something here like that. It'll come here, hit this little zone here, probably make another full leg down, and then shoot up. Because I don't think it's going to come back to hit this resistance line solely because it already made that. It already made the claim down here. So it needs to hit demand first again before it hits the support again for the most part. So our higher probability is seeing it come back down, making that false move, and then shooting up. So let's expect that for GU. Right, so let's. Everyone likes UJ. I know Stevenson does. All right. All right, so we start with that higher time frame. I always recommend we start with the higher time frame. It gives us the ultimate. Oh, I did it again. Gives us that ultimate move. So, well, there's one thing we know here. It already made its announcement that it's coming down, right? Just by looking at it, I made that head and shoulders here, right? Shoulder, head, shoulder, right? It's there. One thing I can see here is this, right? It's done this before, more than once. Very easy to see, right? Hit that resistance. 1, 2. I made a head and shoulders over here. Made that fake out move multiple times. Same thing down here. So at the very least, we're going to expect UJ to come to this area right here. This is the ultimate direction we're expecting on UJ. Right? Now we come to the weekly. Let's see what it's been doing in the weekly. So this has been one push down. This is your one push down into a level. This is your level. Right? This is your first level. And this is, if you zoom in, here and right here. It's very, very close to that area where people are buying. It's doing this swing here of consolidation on the higher time frame. So this is what we want to see. We want to see it touch this demand again and shoot up. That's the very possibility. It's been doing it. It's a very high probability solely because that's what it's been doing already. So let's zoom in on the daily, get a better look at it. So this is what we're seeing. This is what we want to see for the future too. And we are very close for. We could enter at some point during the week, depending on what we see today, what it do today. What I would like to see it do is do what it's done already. This is what it's done already. It's made those. Remind you, this is on the daily candle, so looks like it makes that break, and then pulls back up, and then tries to hit that demand area, if not close. Now, would we want to pull our profits up there? We sure would, but it's not guaranteed that it's going to hit there. So we kind of want to be something like this. We want to see it make that move down here and force the buy. Now remember, the ultimate move is bearish. That's the ultimate move. So we always want to be prepared that it could break that and then head back down and keep going down. Remember, this is just one area of consolidation. This has been for weeks now. For weeks now, this has been a moneymaker for anybody who's been buying and selling it, because this is just that area of consolidation. It's that breakout. This is that one level down, and then it'll push down, make another level. This is probably where the second level is going to happen, if it decides to push down to that mark. So, but let's expect to see what it's already been doing. Let's expect to see it hitting this zone here, which is a very small zone, 35 pips or so, right? Give the market a chance to move, and then we look for a buy. That's what we want. We want to see, we want to wait for that buy. Let's see anything else. Yeah, if you guys already see it, you can tell it's very strong and it's very well established, right? 1, 2, that already right there, that establishes that resistance, that area of demand, and now it needs to touch that support again. Same thing here, right? Right here was a no-brainer. This is a buy for anybody, and that's what we're expecting it to do here. It's already making that push down as we speak, right? It's already making that push down. Any questions so far, guys, on UJ, or UCAT, or EG, or GU?
No questions for me.
Cool. Go ahead. Did you say you had a question or no?
No, no
Oh,
questions
you're
for
good?
me.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. AU. I know everyone's been looking for AU. Another day we'll work on cross pairs too.
And by that, do you mean like Great Britain pound and Swiss franc?
Oh, well, what I mean by that
Like
is,
that.
so like AU, EA and AU kind of work covert with each other. So when AU pushes up, EA pushes down, or when AU pushes down, EA pushes up.
Okay.
Kind of like UCAT and oil.
Yeah.
All right, we'll
Yep.
do that another day. All right,
Thank you.
so yep. So here we're gonna find. Well, I can already see a harmonic, but that doesn't mean anything. We need to find an established area of resistance. So where has it hit more than once? Or sorry, more than twice, two or more. It's, so this area right here, right? This is your top of your swings.
Which would be demand.
Nope, this would be your
Or
support.
supply. Supply, I mean, sorry.
Yep,
Sorry.
yep, your supply area. Just wanna zoom in, just
Because
wanna
they
see.
have a lot and they wouldn't need to get rid of it.
Correct. So we automatically going to establish it here is on the higher time frame is solely because it's hit it more, it's established it on multiple occasions, right? Made that breakout here, that false breakout, but the ultimate move was down. It was this was seriously faking out sellers into buying, and then you got the buyers trapped in there, and then so on and so forth. So the markets just want to try to take everybody's money here,
It's a
and then
big mess.
make that real move. Correct, right? So this is what we're gonna, this is what I would like to see here. Even though I do see a pattern here. I already see that bat pattern. It doesn't mean anything yet. That remember that supply area is far more powerful, right? Right. Give the market a chance, right? Sometimes it might not even complete it, but it wants to touch it. It really does. Kind of make it nice and bright. Right. I'm looking for it to come back up, meet this area somewhere. Right? It's a big area. I understand that, but it's because you need to just give the market a chance. I promise you'll see far more blue than red if you just be patient with the market. Let the market make its move. Let everybody let everybody else get in there, but for yourself, give it a chance. Because even though it may have seemed to some people that it's going to come back down, I mean, I can see it already. I mean, it's not, it's there. It's, I can draw it quickly, but definitely there. A little ugly, but it's there, right? But it needs to meet this supply area to be more confirmation. We want to see it come back. We want to see it come down. I'm sure we love to. I'm sure people are still in it from Friday or Thursday, but we want to see it meet that supply area, the area of support, and then come back down, right back into the area of consolidate, right in that swing area. Right, made its break, supply. Now it's going to want to come right back down. Right, and we want to see it first. It could go it could go as far as down to here, right? Because this zone has been a pivot point on the area of demand for quite some time, right? It's made those pivot points, right? Pivot, 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 came back down in that zone and made another pivot. Very easy.
A lot of bullish pressure.
Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah. The market just consolidated. It wanted to make that move, but it couldn't yet. For quite some time, this was actually a nice trade for quite some time. Right, and this is no longer an area of demand that has been broken. Now we're going to come right back up to the older demand.
And you could see whenever it did break that, you could see where it came down and touched the zone again, wicked and took off.
Yep. Oh yeah. All right. So that's what I see for this week, guys. I see it could make that push up, and then make that nice fall. But it is there. That sell is definitely there. You just got to give it some patience.
Yeah,
That's what I want
USD
to
is
see.
in trouble.
That's what I want to see, because there's nothing worse than making that false sell and then to come right back up again, just to pull you out of your profits. That's what it will be for. So I would wait for it to make that move up north and then to come back down south. That's a nice trade. I would definitely take that. I like that. Let's come back. Let's come look at the smaller time frame. This is just a nice area of consolidation, right? It's just one big consolidation. 40-pip consolidation. And it rejected this pretty fast too. How far are we? They use a big pair too. Yeah, so expect the general direction that we're going to see it come in is sell. But let's be a little patient. Let's see if it'll come back up here to hit that 0.77 range, 75 range, 775, and then see it come back down. But it does look nice in the higher time frame. All right, and because that move is being established with AU, we know what we know. Let's see EA now. Let's look at EA. All right, we're gonna start with the high time. Like we should always do. All right, same thing here. So this is all middle of consolidate. This is all middle of the swing, right? So if we look on the weekly right here, so here this was an area of resistance, right? And then it established a newer one right here. Because based off the weekly, it's hit it multiple times. And that's strong in itself because it's a higher time frame. Right? So look on a daily too. It made that touch. And this is your this is your supply. This is the area that we want to see. So the market is getting ready to make that push. It's consolidating for its big move. Right? It established resistance, the area of demand. It established it already. Right? 1, 2. Hit it again, multiple times. Very strong. But wants to make that move up. Considering AE wants to push down, EA will push up. On that 4-hour, with one big, and it's not. It looks like it's just not ready to make that move yet. And I see a pattern here as well, by the way. Let's make that swing right back up into that. I mean, let's not wait for it to hit there. Let's be safe. Let's see it come up to run. little safer than that, actually. I'd be looking for something right here. I'd be looking for this right here. We're not going to get into this, but if I were to do this, right? Just really quick, just not aligning stuff up. Right? That's looks like a classic shark pattern. So that doesn't tell us anything necessarily. What tells us is that it's feeding in these zones. So feed, feed. So this is your pivot, and this is the area where it likes to come back up to. This is where the market is comfortable. It does more action up here than it does down here. So we want to see it come back up, hit this area for the most part, and then we'd be looking for a reversal as well, right from there. Let's see if I can see anything else on it. So what I want to see this pull back down to hit this area. Pull back down, which for EA is not a lot, to be honest with you. EA moves very fast. Make that pull down, because on the smaller time frame, it's been doing this right here. Been doing this. It broke, and then very quickly came back down. So what we can see is, we could see something like this. And we want to see something like this. I mean, as much as I'm sure people would love to see it shoot up to confirm this, but it gives us another chance, if you're not already in it, to make a better entry. So you're going to see consolidation here. Come back down, and then shoot up. That's what I want to see. That's what we all want to see. And then come back up into this area of supply. All right, that's EA. We'll do a couple more, and then we might do another session tonight. If not, we'll have one set up for another one for this week. Anyone want me to look at any specific pairs? We'll look at NU. Actually, look at AU. Ooh, oh god. Oh boy. Okay, so it already super strong. This is a very strong area. And the best part about it, it's only an area of like 40 pips for your supply. And one thing we know about AUD NZD is that it makes those, it hits multiple times, even over here, hits it multiple times. So what we ultimately want to see is this, because we know for a fact, at the very least, it's coming. At the very least, it's coming down here. That's almost a guarantee. Right? It could go further, but it's hit this area a whole lot more than it has down here. This is definitely the area of interest. Could we see it come back up to here? Yes, we could. Um, but I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna say I don't think so, at least yet. Because here's your middle. This is your middle of the swing. And it doesn't normally. It needs to hit. It wants to hit this middle area first before it makes that full move. So I see it coming right here first. So ultimately, we want to sell this to this region right here over anything. And then if it breaks it, we know it's going to come back down to here. That's what we would know. However, if it doesn't, we know it's coming back up to here, which gives us even another chance to get in. For those who like to ride them long and who just take them for that one move and then get out during, at the end of the day. So we want to see it come down here, consolidate for a little bit, and then shoot up again. Probably do that maybe once or twice and then make that full move back down. And you can already see a pattern there too, right here. Right? One, right there. That's a nice pattern as well. Very easy, guys. Supply and demand is the best way to make money in this game. If you obviously there's obviously advanced techniques, but this is where you're going to start. This is where you're going to say, oh, I still see movement here, and I still see it coming up, or I still see it coming down before it makes that movement. That's what you want to see first. And based off of, remember, history repeats itself, so because I see it pivoting here more than once in the past, it's more powerful that it looks like it comes up back up to test, and then it makes that full move again. Right? So this is what we want to see. We want to see it come to here, so it's definitely a sell, at least at the moment, to come down to here, which is still 200 pips. That's awesome. We expect it to maybe form a bull candle and then come down. But that's what we want to see ultimately. We want to see a nice comfy sell down to this area, and then maybe take your profits or have a tight stop loss on the movement and see what it does. Other than that, this will be your area of take profit. That's a nice trade right there. And ultimately, at the end of the day, over a long course of time, we're going to see it come back down to this area, which is a nice 750 pip trade.
Excuse me, Matthew?
Yeah, yep, go ahead.
I don't mean to interrupt, but Christopher is requesting if you could take a look at odd JPY when you get a chance.
AJ.
Thank you.
Yeah, all right. I'll get back to that 1 second. So, all right. So on the hourly, I'll get into AJ next. So I'm going to come back down to the smaller time frame. I kind of want to see if we even have somewhat of a decent entry here, at least yet. So it looks like it's making that move, right? Let me see. What I kind of want to see is I kind of want it to bounce off this. I want to see it bounce here. Bounce here, and then look for it to break on the next move. But if it does break right here, this is still quiet. We want to get ourselves into a nice bull candle for a sell, because then it's just going to do, if you get into a sell, you could see yourself negative for a few candles. You don't want it. It's not a good idea. Find yourself a nice area of entry, and then look for it to come back down and make that another level, right? So 1 level, fall, 2 level, fall, and then 3 level, and then look for that rise up. Right? That's a fun trade. That's an easy profit trade right there. Let's see what this find too. And remember, guys, this is all junk. This is all from the news. That move from the news. We're gonna want to see this. This is gonna slowly. This is gonna do this consolidation here until it starts to move probably the next session or so. Yeah, I'd wait for London to see it make its to give yourself a better entry. That's a good pair though, guys. All right, let's come to AJ. All right, let's start on that higher time frame. AJ is right in the middle of everything. Right. Oh, here we go. All right, so, and it did. Look at that. So this is what this is what I'm looking to see on AJ. I'm looking to see similar to this, right? Look at that. Little consolidation, make another breakout move, and it's respecting it so well. If you see here, it pulled out quick, pulled up quick, pulled up quick, pulled up quick, and then pulled up quick again. So what I'm looking to see nicely is to see it sell right in that area that it's in for the most part. I'm looking for it to come down back to this area because this is a major area of pivot as well. This is where the market starts to change again. This is an easy one.
I'm just messing around with a fib right now on that pair, and I put a Fibonacci retracement on AJ weekly, and it looks like it's respecting the 618. It gapped, like it hit the 618 market close. It gapped down over it. It came up, retested it, and now, just like you said, it is headed down, but it's headed up right now on the smaller time frame to hit that 61.8 first.
Yep. What time frame are you looking at?
I got the fib on the weekly from the bottom of that pin, and then let's like.
How are you? So let me see this right here. So on the last big move, it'd be ultimately backwards. This would be what you want. This is how you would do it.
That might be not even correct. Oh, I'm sorry. Daily.
Okay, that changes everything.
I hooked it up on the weekly on that little swing low, but on the daily it would be it's appropriate. Or on the last swing high coming.
It's right below that 61.8, right? Right below that 61.8, and it looks like because let's see where these candles are closing. Looks like we're going to see this come to the 88.8% on the Fibonacci.
But what I got out of it was definitely going down.
Yeah, it's definitely going to come down. It's going to come back down to this area at the very least. let's draw a trend line on our smaller time frame too. We can start seeing changing direction sooner than later. If you look on the small time frame, let's see if this lines up nicely. A little better. That's a little better. So we could see it, and you're right, on the Fibonacci, it's in that 61.8 range, right? So we could see it come back up to that trend line right here, and then break that and complete that move to the 88.8. Right? It's trying to make that one big move on that retracement, on this big retracement here. It's trying to come back down in that stairway effect, back down to that 88.8 like it did. You know, this is a nice area where we want to see it, like this, and like this. We want to see it do something like that. Come down to here, make a little quick move. Make a little quick move, and then shoot quickly up again, back up to that area. That's what we want to see. And we are, you know, we want to respect it. We want to let the market talk first before we act on it. We kind of want to see it. And that's not even bad, actually. That's 20 pips away from the trend line. And if it does that, then we go into the next trend line and then fall. So ultimately, I don't know, 70 pips, but yeah, I'll let the market kind of finish what it's trying to do here, and then make a break. Look for it to come up a little higher. I want to see it come up a little higher, and then make that sell to respect the trend. But at least down to the 88.8.
I see.
All right, do you see that, buddy?
Yep.
All right. We'll do one more. Any preference, guys?
Euro GBP is a good one. I hear it's gonna go down soon. No, Euro GBP.
Oh, EG. Oh, we already did that, buddy.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I came in a little late.
Yeah, no worries.
Don't worry about it then.
I'll do AJ since you said that first. All right. All right, EJ, guys, last one. Monthly. Oh, nice. So first we need to find an area where the market is consistent. So for one, you have your high up here, down here, and then right in the middle. Oop. And right in the middle. So let's find an interest area. So it looks like the market. This would have been this would have been your area of demand solely because it's hit this many times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it broke it. On the daily. And it hasn't established any new ones yet. What I could see happening is this, and solely because it made a move here and then a move here, you could see it coming back down to this area again. EJ looks like it's going to come back down to this, to touch this area again, and then come back up. Oh wait, hold on a second. Let me see this. What's this? Oh, okay. All right. All right, much better. I found it. So this is our area of support and demand. So now, this gives me a clearer picture. I can see, well, you want to always keep in consideration this. This is so crucial. It just prevents you from getting stuck in anything. The last thing you want to do is here is, make a sell. So it already hit that area of demand, made a fake out, it's still obeying it. So now it's still completing this move. Back into demand. Needs to touch it. That looks like the way EJ tries to work. It tries to make that supply pickup and then the drop in the demand, or the pickup in demand and the drop in the supply. So this is what I'm expecting to see. I'm expecting to see a nice buy up to this area. 250 pips back down to respect the trend for 700. Something like this. All right, just bear with me. Something like that. All right. Something along those lines. But I see it respecting that trend. Let's go on the smaller time frame. So it's already started to make that drop. But it did here too. Looks like it did something like this similar over here too. There we go. Like right here. It was in that area and it came back down to, looks like the fake, like it was coming back down again, like to really come back up to make for that real move. Looks like this is probably going to do something very similar to that. How far are we away? We're 200 pips from where we would like to be. This right here would have been, even then, a little far away. Be comfortable. I'm expecting EJ to come back up to this area here, just to respect what it's done many times. 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on and so forth. And for the most part, the real move is when it hits that area, right? It hits that, and then the real move happens. Hits that, and the real move. Like right here was beautiful, right? That's what I'm looking for here. I'm expecting it to do the same. And then this would be your area of interest. Right? Area of interest. Any questions, guys? This was the last one. We might do another one tonight. Anything, guys?
Nope, not for me.
All right.
Thanks so much, dude.
Yeah, no problem. Glad you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll do another one. And happy trading this week. Good luck.
Oh yeah, bro.
I'll be posting stuff
Hey,
to the chat room. What's up?
check out. Okay, am I able to share my screen right now?
Should be able to.
I guess I don't need to. But AJ, AJ's, I don't know. Never mind.
If you have any questions, you can go ahead.
Yeah, for
All
sure.
right, guys. That's it for now. I'll see you guys later.
Adios, bro. Have a good one.
Take care.